After everyone, my name is Thomas Manglona reporting on Saipan, and now we're joined with CNMI Department of Corrections Commissioner Anthony Torres with the latest updates with regards to the escaped prisoners. So, Commissioner, can you tell us the latest details?
Sure. So, just to give you a quick rundown, at approximately 8:58 p.m., my DOC staff brought inmate Joey Maratita over to the emergency room to get seen, and when he came to get seen, doctors requested to get some of the restraints off, and at that point, when some of the restraints came off, the inmate fled the emergency room, and that's when I was notified, and DPS was notified. We activated the rapid response team. I also contacted the director of customs to assist with us, and also the U.S. Marshals Task Force as well. So we had all our partners who came out in full force this evening, and I want to send a huge Don Kulunasisus Masi with everybody that came out and assisted. And at 11:58 p.m. this evening, my DOC staff who were stationed at some of these checkpoints along the way from the Commonwealth Health Center all the way down towards the old Tarosu, the sugarcane park area, and the old Japanese jail. It was at the old Japanese jail where my DOC staff identified inmate Maratita and pursued the inmate and detained him and took him down, and then we brought him back over here to the emergency room to get cleared and to get checked out by the medical staff, and then at this point, when he's done, we'll bring him back to the facility and secure him. And also just to put out there as well, again, a special thank you to all the partners who came out. They came out in full force. DPS went to some of the judges' homes and stood by there as well to provide safety and security. So it was a coordinated effort from all the local agencies, and everybody worked together. Nobody was harmed. None of my staff were injured. No injuries to report. The community's safe. Thank you to the community for being on alert. And unfortunately, things like this happen. And I'm also going to have to kind of revisit and take a look at what went wrong and see what happened and what initiated or was some of the causes that maybe could have been mitigated or prevented. So, but at the end of the day, nobody got hurt. Our community is safe. Again, thank you to our partners, Rapid Response Team, DPS, U.S. Marshals, Customs, Biosecurity. Everybody came out and worked together collaboratively, and this is the good news that I'm happy to report and say, hey, we did our job, and we did the best that we can.
And Commissioner, one of the biggest questions once the news broke is, how is this possible, especially at a hospital? How many officers were, assigned to him, were by his side in the hospital? Can you shed some light on those details and maybe respond to people who might be a bit surprised by this?
I know for sure 2 staff were there with the inmate.
2 DOC officers?
2 DOC officers, and that's protocol. I can't really comment on what really actually happened because I made an investigation. We'd have to kind of maybe clear that out. It's something that we'd have to look into, that I'm going to have to look into as well, to ensure that nothing like this happens. In this line of work, anything happens, and this is why training is important. Proper staffing is important. All those different things that as commissioner at this level, I need to ensure, and all these moving pieces that need to be put in place, and to ensure that things like this don't happen.
And what does accountability look like in this case? I know the investigation is still ongoing and the details are still developing.
I know the inmate's gonna pick up an escape charge. I know that's for sure.
And for the officers who were,
Again, it's unfair for me to kind of really say, because that's something that we're gonna have to look internally. So, and I can't really comment on any of that, because
okay.
When I got wind of this, it's like, okay, my officers were safe. Nobody was harmed at that very point in time, and to think rational and to be like, okay, let's figure out a plan and deploy our resources and find the inmate, fled the escape. That's the main piece of right then and there.
And can you share some details about the condition he was found? Did he change his clothes? Where exactly was he located?
When he fled the hospital, I do know he was. They reported him to be in a gown with boxers, and I believe when they found him, he already had his gown off, so he was kind of like running in his boxers or shorts, trying to go from one point, I don't know exactly sure, but towards the old Japanese jail. And I had my DOC officers in post, because we had a rapid response team who was doing the sweeping and the flushing in areas. So I deployed my staff to stay stationed. At which point in time, that's when they identified Maratita.
Is there any indication of where he was heading? Was he just simply trying to hide from authorities at this point, or?
At this point, I really don't know. I couldn't really speak on any of that. I don't know. All I know is that I was determined to locate him, apprehend him as soon as possible. Thankfully, before midnight.
Yes, and Commissioner, I'm sure we'll learn more in the coming hours and even days, perhaps. Do you want to just leave a message for our community as they're possibly waking up to this news?
I want to tell. I guess I want to say to my community and for some of the people who are awake and knew about it. Thank you for being alert and for. I know when I went, and I participated in this as well. I was going up in the upper part of Chinatown. We had some families who were kind of hanging out outside, and I took it upon myself to get out of my vehicle and introduce myself and say, hey, if you see anything suspicious, or if you see anybody described like this, to call 911 right away. Don't try to talk to him. Just call 911.
Did you get any tips about his whereabouts?
And that's another thing, is thank you to the community and to the individuals who did call and report any type of suspicious activity. And those tips helped our command center in locating the inmate. So that was a huge plus, because we were listening to the radios and we were just kind of getting these different tips, and then from there, that's when everything was getting deployed. But it was the joint collaboration and the partnership with everybody that made this operation that was successful.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.